This episode of Just Plain Bored is brought to you by the good folks at Woodcraft. Hello fellow woodchopperoos, Chad here, and today I'm going to tell you the best way to learn woodworking right now on Just Plain Bored. So when I do seminars and teachings all around, people always come up to me and say, Chad, I really like your furniture. How did you learn woodworking? But what I think they mean to be saying is, what's the best way to learn woodworking? So here's my top 5 best ways to learn woodworking. Coming in at number 5, blogs. Now, I like blogs. They cause me to stop and focus to read them. I can't be checking the weather or be making a sandwich. I actually have to take the time to read them. And they're short, so I'm not wasting too much time in reading them. The best thing about blogs, too, is I can access them just about anywhere with my smartphone. Blogs come out regularly, and they're on a whole bunch of different topics in woodworking. Now, the downside to the blogs are they are short. So if I'm looking for specific step-by-steps or some details, I'm probably not going to find it there. The other thing about a blog is you gotta wonder, the person who wrote it, are they a real expert on it? Before you start stating anything as fact, do your homework and make sure that what you're reading on the blog is actually true and not just someone's opinion. Okay, coming in at number 4, videos. Now, whoa, I know what you're saying. You're Chad, that's my number 1 way I learn woodworking. In fact, that's why I watch your show. First of all, thank you very much for watching. But for me, that's not the best way. Videos are great for people who don't like to read, or maybe they don't even have time to read. The videos can show you projects from start to finish, and again, just like with blogs, you can access them anywhere, and for the most part, most of them are free. The downside to the videos are sometimes they're filmed way too fast, so I'm seeing what they're doing, but I'm not really grabbing all the fine little details of how to do something. Sometimes the videos are filmed at bad angles, or maybe they have bad equipment. And maybe just some videos are stupid. One show comes to mind. So that's why for me, videos come at number 4. Now, coming in at number 3 are books. I love books. I have over 200 books in my collection, and I use them on a regular basis. Again, what I like about books is it causes me to slow down and focus. I can really digest and take in all the information that's there in the book. The books are very detailed, step by step, and the author typically knows what he's doing, is usually an expert in his field, and then it's even fact-checked by the editor. So books are a valuable way of learning woodworking. Now, the downside to books, well, to get your information, it's going to be kind of slow. You do have to look or read the book to find out the information you want. The other thing about books is they're typically not free. You usually have to buy a book versus a blog or some of these online videos that you can just get for free. And lastly, if you have a book collection like me, well, you need a place to store them, so you have to build bookcases for them, and when it comes time to move, that's a nightmare. But for me, books are number 3. Coming in at number 2 are woodworking classes. Now, taking a woodworking class is great because the instructor, again, is typically an expert in that field. He's going to help you refine your style and technique, whether it's sawing, using a hand plane, holding a chisel. He's going to be able to show you the right way to do this and is there to give you feedback one-on-one. Also, too, you have that instructor. You can ask him any question. You get an answer right now versus sending an email or posting a question somewhere on a blog. You get direct feedback one-on-one. That's a great thing about the class. Now, the downside of the class is, well, you got to pay money for them. You have to set time aside to go to that class. And then the location of the class. How far is it? Maybe it's not in your neighborhood. Maybe you have to drive to another state. So classes sometimes aren't real convenient for everyone. Most of all, how's the instructor? I mean, the instructors sometimes might be experts at exactly what they do, but they're not very good at expressing and coming across with the right words and technique so you, the student, truly understand. And then there's the tools. The classrooms have all the tools for you. So when you leave, you have a completed project. But do you have those same tools back in your shop so when you can go home, you can make more of it? That's why classes come in at number 2. Number 1, and this is probably going to surprise everyone, but the number 1 best way to learn woodworking, get a customer. What do I mean? Well, let me explain. If you have a customer, typically the customer is going to want something, and their idea and style is going to be probably different from yours. Every customer I have always wants something different, specifically for them, and you have to know how to do that. Now, that requires an effort on your part. If they're asking you to make a green and green style desk, can you do it? I mean, maybe you've made tables, but you've never made a desk with drawers. And then if you made a desk, what's a green and green style desk? So you're going to have to do homework. That requires you to get out of your comfort zone and push your abilities. Use all that resource you have available, blogs, videos, books. Read it, study it, understand it. And now you have the workings to become a better woodworker. Now, there are some downsides to it. One is the whole fear factor. I mean, oh no, they're asking me to do something that I'm not familiar with. Oh, I can't. What if I screw it up? What if they don't like it? Well, yeah, that's there, but that's also what pushes you to succeed. The other downside is, well, woodworking was your hobby, and now you're getting paid to do it, which sounds great. You get a paycheck, but maybe you don't have any interest in green and green style. Maybe you hate that style. So it's not as enjoyable to build something that you don't like. Then there's that whole learning curve. How do I sell it? How do I price it? How do I meet deadlines? That is a lesson in itself. And if you are interested in some of those topics, check out some of the past episodes I did of Just Plain Board where we cover some of that. But those are issues that are completely new that aren't really woodworking related that you're going to have to deal with. Look, people ask me all the time, how did I get into this? And I'll tell you, it's kind of a funny story. I used to be an auto mechanic, and I hated it. I quit my job, and I quit the job at a bad time. There wasn't a whole lot of hiring going on. I was down to my last $14. So I made a bunch of flyers that said handyman, and I went out to a really rich neighborhood and stuck them on all the doors. Out of hundreds of flyers I put out there, I got one phone call, and the customer said, I've got a couple of loose tile in my bathroom. Can you fix that? I said, sure. But I had never done tile before in my life. So on my way over to take a look at it, I stopped at the library and got a book on tile repair. Every stoplight, I looked at the pages, I had a basic understanding of what had to be done and realized it wasn't that tough. So I went in and I had enough ability, enough knowledge to be able to talk to the customer, and I got the job. From there, though, I really did my homework. I researched how to get the old adhesive off, what kind of adhesive, what type of grout. I did my homework after that, and I completed the job. Customer was happy. And from there, I never advertised again. Everything was referral, word of mouth. Over 20 years later, I became a licensed contractor, professional furniture maker, and to this day, I still don't do any advertising, and my phone is always ringing. So, for me, that's the best ways that you can learn and improve and become a better woodworker. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at stantonfinefurniture@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you on any topic of woodworking related. And if I don't know, tell you what, I'll do some research on it. On behalf of myself and Safety Dan, we want to thank you, and go dance now, people.